Hello everybody, I'm your Ghost with the Most and your fabulous host Luke here. I already made a video about how much the villains in the Ghost and Molly McGee suck, so go watch that if you haven't, because I'm not really going to be talking about the villains in this video. This is mainly about all the other story stuff the show fails at. So I guess this is kind of a part 2, but also not really. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So let's just get into it. Scratch at first doesn't like Molly. You would think he would have an entire character arc about slowly liking her more, but no, he just gets over it by the end of the 3rd episode. In fact, it makes the theme song not even make any sense. Throughout the entire theme song, Scratch is annoyed with Molly until the ending, where it shows that he does kind of like her. But by the end of episode 3, he likes Molly, so the theme song doesn't make sense anymore.
Boy, the dream team, you and me.
For all eternity?
For all eternity!
I've been cursed. It's the worst.
Now you're stuck with me.
We're never gonna be apart. Is there a way to hit restart?
That's me.
Well, let's see.
The Ghost and Molly McGee.
It would have been a lot better if throughout the entirety of Season 1, Scratch was mainly a jerk like he was in the first few episodes, but he slowly got better throughout the season, and then in the Season 1 finale, he would truly become Molly's friend. Think about how much more impactful this scene would have been if it was the first time he was really nice to Molly.
He's a menace.
Everything she touches turns to joy.
You know what? You're right. Molly's way too chipper in the morning.
It's the anything is possible part of the day.
And she thinks helping others is the most important thing in the world.
Only 'cause it is.
She thinks you can have more fun being nice than you can have being mean. Which is just crazy. And here's something even crazier. She's right. And I like her for it. She's my friend, and I'm hers. And I don't care who knows it.
Aw, Scratch.
In Season 2, Ollie hates ghosts, but then he learns not all of them are bad, and he starts to become more accepting of ghosts. Then in the very next episode he appears in, he's already part of the squad team, and he's already completely over everything. It feels like we missed a part of his story. The show feels like it wanted to be episodic, but then it saw the Owl House and Amphibia were story-driven, so it got self-conscious, and it tried to copy off of them, so it shoved in story stuff into the show, but it really didn't put a lot of care into it. A lot of the story stuff in the show had a lot of potential, especially stuff like the chairman, but instead of utilizing any of that potential, the writers just really didn't even try. So it's just kind of sad. Because most of the story stuff in the show is either half-baked, super rushed, or a super unsatisfying conclusion that leaves a bunch of questions that will never be answered. Now, not all of the story stuff in the show is done horribly. Molly slowly making the town better and better throughout the series I thought was done pretty well, and so was Scratch remembering who he was as a human, but those are the exceptions and not the rule. Like one time I was watching a video about the show, and I commented talking about some of the unanswered questions and how I thought they killed off the chairman way too soon, and somebody said, "That's not what the show is about, it's episodic." Then why does it keep trying to have story stuff? If the show is going to try and have an overarching story and stuff, then people are going to want it to be good, and they are going to want questions to be answered. If that's not the show is about, then why is it in the show? If you want an example of a show that is both episodic and story-driven at the same time and does it masterfully, look at the DuckTales reboot. The DuckTales reboot does everything the Ghost and Molly McGee is trying to do, but 1,000 times better. Anyway, another thing that feels like a missed opportunity in Season 2 of the Ghost and Molly McGee specifically is that there are a few instances of ghosts causing trouble, but it was Molly's fault because she freed them from the flow of failed phantoms. I thought maybe this was hinting at something, like what if Molly freed something really, really bad, or maybe it was going to reveal that the chairman wasn't actually that bad and he kind of had a point for locking away these ghosts in the flow of failed phantoms. But no, that never goes anywhere. And of course, how could we forget the Chen parents getting over their racism in the span of 8 minutes?
No, see, the ghosts are friends. Huh? They're not as bad as you think.
If I had more time, I'm sure I could scientifically prove that some ghosts are good.
Oh, stop! Clearly some ghost has addled your brains.
Oh no, have you been possessed?
8 minutes later.
Not enough!
Come on, guys. We need more.
That's what friends are for.
And don't say the show was canceled, so they had to rush these things, because no, that's not true. All of this stuff was going to happen whether or not the show had another season or not. The only thing that changed was the series finale. Also, Jeff being the ghost that traumatized the dad doesn't even make sense. You're telling me Jeff, of all ghosts, wouldn't have just gone up to him and apologized for sneezing? Why was Jeff even there? Was he haunting the house? That can't be the case because that was apparently the dad's only interaction with him, and I doubt he would have gotten his entire family to move out of the house because he thought he saw a ghost. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. The show also does that thing where it has a couple that they tease are going to get together for the entire season, but they don't get together until the end, and then we never actually get to see them be a couple. And yeah, I'm obviously referring to Molly and Ollie, and I don't even care about that relationship, but I'm still bringing it up. In conclusion, The Ghost of Molly McGee is a great episodic show, but it is absolutely terrible at almost all of its story stuff. I have been your Ghost with the Most and your fabulous host, and thank you for watching.